Week 9 of the National Football League. And we'll be watching the dynamic Tyreek Hill. He was simply superb last time out, going for almost 300 yards. It's the Dolphins and the Bears, and it's coming right up on Madden NFL 23.
Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin joined as always by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Bears in this one. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, but not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Khalil Herbert to return it from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Chicago's offense running out, and something they hope to see for years and years to come. Second-year pro Justin Fields leading the way.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And right away, he lost the football. And it'll be first and goal at the 7-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play 1 there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
Now, Tua Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there,
on the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after them big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players in one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
Here's Mostert. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. On 2nd and goal, Tua. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 and the 19. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Eluding the pressure. And the pressure gets to him again. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And, oh, that is going to be a safety. Well, Charles, I've heard of backing up to avoid the rush. I think this takes that to a whole new level.
And not upper level either.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. So Miami coming out for their second drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a third down coming up. Looking to pass. Tua. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. Being chased, and he goes down. It's a sack. They get it back at his own 3-yard line. From his goal line here, Fields. Forced, and can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations? In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he'll get this to the 32.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Tua. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another try after the first down sack. Tua. Finding room at midfield. And out across midfield down to the 45. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now this throw caught left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua, throw left side, taken in by Hill. 19 yards there on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out the
touchdown. Durham Smythe as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. And this drive, Charles, very well timed as they score with very little time remaining in this first half.
And I'm reminded that they get the second half kickoff as well, so they can break this one wide open before the other guys have a chance to possess the football.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 14-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Running room at the 50. Look out. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point halftime over. No problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to a hit, and the ball is out.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because when the defense got him, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and...
And pressure coming, and they got it once again. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here comes Pettis on the return. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Montgomery. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. They try again with Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bears are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Fields trying to throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So the celebration in the end zone, but meanwhile, we do have an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now after the touchdown. Here's Santos to kick this one away. Benogany elects not to return it. The football will come out to the 25-yard line. Miami set to take over. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And boy, that sure turned out well for them.
They'll try and throw for it toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Tagovailoa trying again after the pick six. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing again on second down. Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. That one fourth down here. That pass knocked away and incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On play action, Fields. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Fields throw there, complete to Mooney. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Fields. There's Mooney with another catch. Touchdown Bears! Darnell Mooney, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Santos with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Big Benogany elects not to return it. The football will come out to the 25-yard line. So Tua and the Dolphins down 24-14. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Tua to throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Tua. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40. It's a big play there for Miami. 43 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Escape, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Tua. Connecting with Hill, and they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Tua. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to take over here up near the 30.
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
Back to throw, Fields. He finds Mooney here on the comeback route. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. All eyes on Fields. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. Now Fields. And that is incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
On 4th down, Fields. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down. So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. Play action. It's Fields. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
The ball was tipped and fell incomplete, but it was tipped up in the air, so the guys on defense, they had to feel like that was a big opportunity, and it was missed. They needed a play to help turn things around a little bit. Ball's in the air. Can they rally to it and get it? On that play, they weren't able to. They'll take the ball batted away, but boy, they missed a big chance.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together in a good week of practice.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Benogany elects not to return. The football will come out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Tua. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Chicago, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns.